sons. I'm sure many of you know the iconic grandmother's cake. Well, today we are going to make a version, but coffee flavored. In addition, with a crispy layer of chocolate to give it a more adult punch. I hope you love the idea and pay attention to the details because they are very simple and will always make it creamy and delicious. I start by placing 4 cups of milk, which are about 800 milliliters, in a large container suitable for cooking a saucepan, for example. I'm also adding 4 tablespoons of sugar. And if you're wondering, yes, it can be a plant-based drink, and yes, it can be another sweetener. Here, a thickener, in this case cornstarch, 4 tablespoons, also about 60 grams. And what we will do is simply with this milk that is cold, stir it around until the cornstarch starts to dissolve a little bit. When you don't see many lumps anymore, take it to the stove, set it to medium level, and stir it before it heats up. We will add another magic ingredient, coffee, which is going to give a great touch to today's recipe. 200 milliliters or 1 cup will be enough, and the coffee that you have in house, the one you like most or feel like preparing. Once you don't see any lumps, I recommend switching from the whisk to a baking spatula, so you can scrape the bottom and keep stirring relentlessly until you have a thick cream like this one you see on screen. Cream is ready. Let's remove it from the heat and assemble the dessert, for which we need another half cup of coffee and a little bit of milk. We're going to use this to moisten the cookies, but you could use any liquid you prefer. Here you can play around a bit. As you can see, I'm dipping the cookies directly into a bit of coffee with milk, but you can also do it with a splash of liquor. And it will be an even more adult pleasure and very delicious too. The assembly is very simple, alternate layers of cream with layers of cookies. Look how easy. I put 3 or 4 ladles of cream at the base of the mold to be used, which in my case is about 22 centimeters on one side and about 15 wide. And what I do is soak the cookies. As I was telling you, I leave the cream base and I soak the cookies in the liquid. There's no need to soak them too much, just simply dip them a little bit and that's it, and you can use whatever cookies you prefer. I'm going to use these toast-like ones, which I think work great in desserts. We're going to cover the surface with cookies, and if you have smaller gaps, then with bits of cookie. We prepare another layer of cream with another 4 or 3 big spoonfuls of cream, enough to spread a thin layer that covers the entire surface. And now all you have left is to alternate this system, that is, cookie cream, like that, until the entire container is covered. As you can see, I'm gonna do it like this, almost indirectly, but at full speed, so you can see how it's getting filled and how we're covering it, taking advantage of every last drop. My advice is that the last layer should be cream, so when you see that you're running low, release all the cream you have in the saucepan and you're done. Recipe finished. You could decorate with a little bit of cinnamon, you could decorate with a little bit of cocoa. But today I like to give it an extra touch, and I'm going to do it with a layer of chocolate. Also, I'm going to make it a bit thin and a bit crunchy to give it a special punch. Simply with half a tablet of finely chopped chocolate and 2 tablespoons of butter. You can heat it in a water bath or in the microwave, but in small intervals, we don't want it to burn. Once the container is warm, you open it, take it out, and start stirring. Thanks to the residual heat that will be in the container, in the chocolate, and in the butter. Simply by stirring it a few times for a minute, you will get a shiny cream like this one. If you don't get the desired result, heat it a bit more. As mentioned, stir a few times. You will get it. What I do now is pour this wonder of chocolate directly onto the coffee cream that we had in the dessert dish. And what I do is distribute it a bit well so that we can spread it and have a uniform and thin layer. Look how beautiful and how easy it is to prepare a delicate and delicious dessert. All you have to do is take it to the fridge for at least 2 hours. Although these desserts, you know that from one day to the next, I think they are even more delicious. So inside the good thing is that on the internet, time flies. So I think today we're gonna open this and serve it. Also, I've saved the last little trick. Yes, I still have one left. And this chocolate, as you can see, is hard on top. Of course, it's a crunchy layer. That's what we were looking for. But to break it easily, do this. Turn on the hot water tap and run the knife you're gonna use under the hot water for a few seconds. Then you shake it to get rid of the water, and thanks to the warmth, the chocolate breaks very easily. Then you can serve your portion with your top layer of chocolate. Look at this wonder and look at the inside. Total dessert. Look. What a great look. A delicious cake with this chocolate coating and the little taste of coffee and the cookie that always triumphs. And it makes you want to start enjoying and eat a little spoonful and another and another and another. I love it when the little flavors melt in your mouth and more in cold cakes. Speaking of which, what is your favorite cake that is served cold? Tell me in the comments, and also tell me where you are watching the video from. And before saying goodbye, am going to leave you here the list with exact ingredients and quantities so that you can take note and prepare it at home even easier. If you still want to enjoy for a bit, YouTube suggests you'll love the guy in the picture. Press and enjoy it.